it's Carol with Carolbcrafts. Today we'll be making this adorable little Easter card. It's project number 2 in my Springtime Joy online class. Check out my website www.carolbcrafts.com to see what current online class and create kit I'm offering. So let's get started making our adorable card. From your card base pack, you're going to want to get an 8.5 by 11 card base. You're going to want to get the DSP with the small flowers. That's this one right here. And for your basic white, you're going to want to get some basic white. I think we'll need probably a sheet and a half of that, because we have a lot of white to do here. You're going to need some Highland Heather. I believe that's it. And you're going to need some Misty Moonlight, which is this pretty blue here, this dark blue here. And you're going to need some Seaside Spray. So that's the colors that we're going to need. Basic white, Highland Heather, Misty Moonlight, Seaside Spray. Aren't those beautiful colors together? All right, so we're going to bring in our trimmer here, and we'll start by scoring our card base, which is going to be a 5.5. We'll score it at 5.5. That's basically in half, and we're going to find our fold and fold it in the center and crease our fold with our bone folder. Okay, for our Whisper White, let me see if we can use our half sheet from our first project. We need 3 3/4 by 5. So 3 3/4 by 5. There we go. And then we're going to use this 3 3/4 by 1/2 for our sentiment. And then for this, we're going to get our 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. So we'll do our 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. That's for stamping our little lamb. So stamping our little lamb inside sentiment and our 1/2 by 3 3/4 for our front sentiment. Okay, so now we're going to put this with our cardstock. We may use it later, so we didn't need this large piece, so we'll use that for later as well. So that takes care of our basic white. Now we're going to do our Highland Heather. Again, we're going to cut that in half. And we need 2 that are 4 by 5 1/4. So there's 4 and 4. And 5 1/4. And 5 1/4. Now our DSP. Oh, let's do our Seaside Spray. Well, Misty Moonlight is next. So that's this. Misty Moonlight. We need a 3 by 4. So I'm just going to do 3 by 4. That's for the scalloped oval. So we're done with that. Now our Seaside Spray. I'm going to cut that in half. 5 1/2. And we need so there's 2 inches by 4 inches. All right, done with our Seaside Spray. Our DSP, we need to cut 3 1/8 by 4 3/4. So 3 1/8 this way by 4 3/4 this way. Okay, we can put this away. So let's see, have we got all of our cutting done? Hopefully, I usually forget something, but let's hope that I did. Now we're going to do our stamping, and we're going to stamp on all of this basic white. We're going to use Gorgeous Grape, and we're going to use our Memento Tuxedo Black. And I'll bring in a random stamp pad to put under there. Get this in place. So we're going to stamp our lamb on the 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And so I'm going to put that here on that line. Put that so it doesn't move. Put my little lamb in the center. So I'm going to be cutting it, die cutting it with one of my oval dies. So we're going to use our Memento Tuxedo Black. Kind of rub that and then pat it. I don't want to get too much ink on there. Okay, maybe a little bit there. That's good. I'll clean that stamp off. That's ready to color. So put that there. Let's do our inside. We'll go ahead and bring in our 4x6 plastic sheet. And we're going to stamp Happy Easter. Or Easter is a lovely reminder of new beginnings. And we're going to stamp that with our Gorgeous Grape. I think that up a little better. And we're going to line that, whoops. I'll line that up here and put that in place and stamp that. Let's do that one more time. I'll clean off my plastic, my window sheet, and my stamp. Now I'm going to get my butterfly. Move this, make sure you don't have ink on your fingers. Put that in place. Do my butterfly so I can position that. Do that with my Gorgeous Grape. I'm just going to put that right here, kind of near that. Doesn't have to be any really fancy. Just ink that up. There's my, okay, and clean that up. So our inside is ready to color. And lastly we have this 3 3/4 by 1/2 for our sentiment, and we're going to clean off our butterfly off of our plastic. Make sure that's dry, and stamp Welcome Spring down here and over to the edge so that we can hold this in underneath here and line it up. Okay, so as close to the corner and edge as you can get, and then we're going to stamp that. Welcome Spring. And aren't we welcoming spring? Oh my. So we'll set that. We want it in the center as much as possible. And then we're going to put that down there. And this down here. This is for our banner. Our little sentiment banner. Welcome Spring. Okay, I think that's it for our stamping. Now we're going to do some coloring. So let's clean up our stamps and our plastic. And put this away. Now we're going to get our Stampin' blends, and we got a little bit of coloring to do. We have to color our light and dark Highland Heather. For our butterfly, we'll color the wings light Highland Heather. And then the body dark Highland Heather. And then the dots. So that's done. Now for our lamb, you can do one of two things. You can use light smoky slate or light gray granite, whichever you have. I'm using the light smoky slate. Or you don't even have to do this at all. But what we're going to do is we're going to put a small line near the black, not a very big one, and around the face. And you don't want to get right up on the black. You just want to kind of go around it. And I'm just kind of putting a little bit, I'll show you. This is to shade and give dimension to the little lamb. Above the eyes, just a little dot and a nose. And then here, I'm not going to put any at the top. So I'm going to hold this up and hopefully you can see. It doesn't look like much right now. Maybe I can even get closer. But what we're going to do is we're going to take, and like I said, you don't have to do this part. It'll still look nice. We're going to take the bullet tip of our color lifter. Now what a color lifter does is it blends and lifts. So we're going to lighten this gray, and I think I might try to bring you in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm kind of just going over that. It's kind of like I'm erasing it. So I'm blending it out towards the center as I'm kind of erasing it. If you can see, it leaves just a little shadow. So I start out doing little circles and then I blend out, avoiding the black lines. Now the little dots, I'm just going to kind of go back and forth and just spread those out. Okay, you can see this is a little time consuming, so you may decide you don't want to do this. Okay, so I'm going to bring in this one, and so you can see the difference. To see if I can get it there, you can see if you think it's worth all the work and hassle of doing this shading. If not, then you can just use your little lamb like that. Okay, so I might just leave it up flat so I do my coloring. So light Highland Heather for this flower. Oh, let me use my brush tip. For this flower, and this flower here, and then we're going to use light Misty Moonlight for this flower. I hope that's the light. I think so. And this flower here. Old Olive, light Old Olive for our leaves. Okay. And if you have a light Daffodil Delight, you can fill in these little circles here with that. So I think, oh yeah, Old Olive, we need the dark and light Old Olive for the grass. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our dark Old Olive, and we're going to make like a little grass. We're going to just kind of put along the bottom. Then we're going to take our light Old Olive, and we're going to kind of go like this And then we're going to take our color lifter again, and we're going to blend those two together so that we don't have one color stronger than the other. And I think I'm going to do my light old olive again because I took too much of it off. Okay, so now my little lamb has something to sit on besides just the, and I might actually bring this over a little bit more. There. Now my little lamb has something to sit on. We'll be die cutting that. And I think that's it for our coloring. So now we're ready to die cut. So we're die cutting our lamb with the second largest oval die. So just count down 1, 2 from the largest, and then this is the largest scalloped oval die, and we're going to cut that, die cut that with our Misty Moonlight. So bring in my machine, my Stampin' Cut and Emboss, and layer that in here and run it through. There we go. And then going to die cut this. Largest scalloped oval with Misty Moonlight. That's our background. It's going to go behind our little lamb, our cute little lamb. Okay, so next we're going to get our Welcome Spring, and we're going to get this, and let's see, I want 2 inches. I want our Welcome Spring to be centered between the 2 inches. Okay, so center it. Here's my 2 inches. So I'm centering it in there, and I'll put it up here so I can score it. When I'm happy with that, I'm going to score there, bring this over, then I'm going to put my score line at 2 inches and score again, flip it over. So I'm just scoring 1/8 of an inch from that first score line. And then, did I say 2 1/8, or did I say, what was that? It looks like it was at 3. At 3, and then at 3 1/8. Okay, I'm thinking that's right. Let's hope so. And then we're going to fold back and fold forward, fold back and fold forward. Now we have our little banner. So we just need to trim it with some scissors. So get out your scissors, and we're going to make a little V. You're going to cut in about 1/8 of an inch. Maybe a little more. Then from one corner to where you just cut it in, that makes your flag. And then from this corner in to where you stopped cutting, that makes your flag. And then the same distance in the center. And then cut from corner to center. And from corner to center. And that gives you your little banner. All right, let's go ahead and get our card stuff out here. Our card base. Now again, this is a top folding card. Our Highland Heather is the same, so we can go ahead and start with that. Did I cut this the right size? This was supposed to be 2 by 4, and it's not. It should have been 2 by 5. So I will have to cut that. I'll change it at the front so that you don't have to miss out. So Seaside Spray 2 by 5. That will look a lot better. So I had to change it from 2 by 4 by 2 by 5. So, because it wasn't looking right, and I totally see why. So this is about 3/8 from the edge of the purple, and then even on top and bottom. So go ahead and put, you can use seal, or you can use glue, whichever you feel more comfortable. So not a half, but about 3/8. I'm using my grid paper to kind of help me. And then with this paper, it's going to be even distances here. You'll see a little bit of the Seaside Spray, and then you want it to be 3/8 from this edge here, or thereabouts. And I will do this with some seal. It's easier since I'm right-handed to do it this way. So even blue here and here, and then even edges here, or thereabouts. It doesn't have to be even, perfectly even. I can see that's a little bit off, but that's okay. It's even here, but not so much there. Now I will use glue to put my little lamb on my scalloped oval. Here we go. Ta-da! Now, that's going to go on the front. Let's go ahead and put it on the front of our card. Make sure it's opening right. Looks like there's 1/8 of an inch all around. And our little lamb's going to go there. This will go on with glue dots. So it's about 1/2 inch from, maybe not quite 1/2 inch from the top of the DSP. I'll put that on with some glue because I like to be able to straighten that out if I need to. You can see why I'd like to use the glue, so I can make sure that the lamb is not wonky. I'm using this line right here to line it up straight. Boy, am I glad I used the glue. All right, darling little lamb. And going to use some glue dots here on my welcome spring, the back. I'm guessing 1 will be enough on each flag. Putting it on this flat part here. And then when I put it on, I'm going to make sure that I center it. But then I want to push this in a little bit like that so that it is sticks up. And I also want to make sure that it's even. And I'll push that down a little bit so it doesn't stick up too much. Okay, now for our colored pearls. From your embellishment bag, you've got 3 of the smallest basic pearl jewels, or pearl basic jewels. You're going to color those with the dark Highland Heather. And when you color, you want to use the bullet tip so you don't ruin your brush tip, the tip of your brush tip. So just going to go around and around and color the top. This dries really fast because it's alcohol and it's permanent, so that's nice too. And I'm going to go over it one more time just so it's nice and dark. You can do this with any color. You can color your pearls any color you want, which is really nice to match your projects. So I'm going to get in my take your pick tool. It looks like I put one of them, if I can get it up here kind of by this part of the little lamb. And I put one here by, not too close to the edge. And then I put one next to it, like right here. All right. That is our, oh, we have to do the inside. So I'm going to use some seal for that. About to forget the inside. That's important. Okay. So there you go. So this one is a top fold card. Pretty. Thanks for watching. I'll see you for project number 3 in my Springtime Joy online class. Thanks for watching. Bye now.